We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Green Bay Packers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're set. Great team. Check. You know it. Bandit.
Now the third leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me is balance.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Von Miller.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So good field position for the Packers as they come up first and 10 at the 41-yard line. Throwing is Rodgers. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Jump out. Go 58's the money. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Motion.
Here's Rodgers to throw. It's Kelce on the ground. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. These guys hooking up right away here, Charles. 2 plays, both passes in his direction, and both catches.
And in our time together, have we not seen the tight end position continue to develop in the passing game? You know, at some point, we may not call them tight ends anymore. We may have to come up with an entirely different way of designating that position and what they do on the field, because when I hear tight end, I think of the old school, hand in the dirt, blocking on the line of scrimmage. These guys are much more receiver than they are guys who are going to move into in the running game.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to. Put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, If you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Emerson Griffin. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? On the counter, Gurley. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but
and he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Paul Warlow gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Back near the goal line. Here's Rodgers. Paul bringing it in. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 36. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They try right side here. Gurley. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they are able to stop him, but he does. To the 2. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the 1st. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Todd Gurley, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and it's now a 7-0 game. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. Now a hit and a loose football. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there. That was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We got to get it back.
And Stills bringing it in. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there of 20 yards. On first and goal, Gurley. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Back to throw, Watson. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Preston Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. So they're back at the 7 now for third and goal.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Back, back, back.
Watson. That's complete right around the 8. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now left side on the swing pass. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. To throw is Rodgers. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Hey, we got to snap it. We got to snap it.
On second down, Eckler. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. From the gun on third, Watson. Open man is Allison, complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson, and that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and it's 3rd and short. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Watson. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And Lambeau will put this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go again to Jones. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Rodgers, a free play. It's caught. Jones. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. After the penalty, it's Jones. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
58, right? Hey, zoom.
From the 41, Rodgers finding Green complete. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Packers. A.J. Green, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now Watson. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. Going to Woods, but that pass is intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 15-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey. Check the backer. On the 50. Here, Mike.
Now it's Rodgers. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Kill.
After the interception, here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, this from 33. The kick by Lambeau is good. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Don't get nervous.
Again, it's Jones. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Double time, double time. Everyone's got 4.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line. They'll try the right side with Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career. Right now. Rodgers, and a little floater there. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The inside linebacker, Danny Trevathan, gets the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To try again after the sack. Watson, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Jonathan Jones that time, the one who got a hand in, knocked it away.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And into the end zone, it's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Extra point try good by Gano. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Hey, here we go.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Again, they run with Gurley. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Trying to get it to Woods. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
25 the mic. We'll go 25 the mic. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd down. Rodgers. Here's Sanu on the catch. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down. He's been quiet all afternoon. He may have just come up with a play of the day right there, though.
Obviously, it's not the volume in what you get done. It's the quality, and that was a quality catch right there.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one good for 37 yards. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Defense wins championships, baby.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. Gano the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Watson being chased out left. Now he'll pull it down, and he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. Watson. Now a desperation throw deep. Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. Stills the intended target.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and
Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you can just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Green Bay, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they taste defeat for the first time this season as they drop to 5-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.